Bro, fucking finally we're doing this.
Yeah, I think I want to thank you for inviting me on. Or I don't think you did invite me on. I think I invited
You
myself.
invited yourself. But dude, I'm glad you did. Cheers.
Cheers, dude.
Story time, bro, because you've got a tale to tell. And it's funny because I've known about this story for a long time,
Yeah.
for a few years. It's been a few years.
Well, I actually had my anniversary in April 2025. So I had my anniversary of the attack on the 12th of April 2025, just a few weeks ago.
1 year.
1 year.
Was it only 1 year?
Yeah, dude.
Before we go on, hold on, sorry. Well, let's start. I mean, first you introduce yourself, tell us your name, age, serial number, sexual preference, pronouns.
Good evening and welcome to the Exitpreneur 3360. Did I just take that? Did I steal that from you?
No, it's all
My
yours.
name's Linden Emmerson, and I'm a single white male, aka white buffalo.
And obviously the reason we're chatting is about your experience. That's for those who don't know, a lot of people who watch I think that tune to the podcast will know who you are, and they probably already heard the story. But for those who don't know, Lyndon's a shark attack survivor. I mean, it doesn't look like it. Got all these legs and arms working, but you've been through a bit of a journey, eh?
Yeah, and I think so. What I actually was really excited about getting onto this show of yours is I like the type of content and people that you have interviewed in the past. Definitely something that triggers a bit of thought.
Yeah.
And the first time I had done a bit of journalism in years, because being an engineer, I'm a very left brain thinker.
Yeah.
So for me to move over to right brain creative was when I wrote my article about the event itself.
Yeah.
And that actually happened like 24 hours after the incident. And then now that we're a year into it, I definitely felt like there was a moment where I needed to this is now the second piece of journalism we're doing again.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
So instead of it being like writing, I guess this is journalism in its own way.
And it's interesting you say that, because in the last podcast I interviewed Hagen Englund, who's the ex-FHM editor, and I was talking about exactly that. It's like why I didn't write a book and why I started a podcast instead, because it's a living, breathing thing. A book you put down in paper and then it's there and it's on a shelf and you can't change it. Whereas something like this, I can be quite agile with, I can be quite experimental and creative with. So it gets that opportunity to, and as you say, it allows people like you to come on, and for me to ask questions as to what the hell you went through. So that piece of journalism that you're referencing, obviously, is that Zigzag article, right? And I read some of it, which as I started reading and I got to the end of the attack, and I was like, well, actually, let me not read the rest of this. Let me ask you rather than. So why don't you take us through the journey that you went on, obviously, from the attack, and go for it. Tell us what happened. Obviously, I know it was in Mars, Ponto De Ouro. Yeah, bro, what an experience. And before I do that, I just want to make, because a lot of people are going to be thinking I wonder what the odds are of a shark attack. The odds, and I did the research for you, so you don't have to look. Basically, an American statistic basically says that your odds of getting struck by lightning are 1 in 180,000. This is in America, an American statistic.
That seems like there should be a lot of dead people from lightning strikes.
Well, you would think so. Well, listen, not everyone who gets struck by lightning dies. Not everyone who gets attacked by a shark dies. 3.5 million, 1 in 3.5 million of getting a shark attack, which makes sense because we live on the earth. We're not in the water as much. So I mean, it all makes sense. But you don't have to go do the research. I've done it for you. The odds are much, much, much greater that you're going to die from a lightning attack than a lightning shock.
I can also tell you that the statistics of a surfer getting charred is a lot higher than someone who lived their life in Joburg.
Really? Did you work that one out on your own? Using AI for that?
But this is that's what I'm saying. You're using a statistic as though it's that is a finite number.
Yeah.
But you have to appreciate the fact that we can and we have the ability to manipulate those statistics.
Yeah. Well, listen, the majority of the Earth's population lives on the coast. So still putting it... Anyway, Go for it. Tune us. What happened, bro? Well, you're right, bro. What happened?
Well, I'm alive.
Yeah.
I had my leg chomped. I'm not sure if you invited me around just to pull my pants off.
No.
So,
No, I'm good,
but
thanks. Well, if maybe we'll share some of the pictures or whatever, but I've seen some of the stuff. Yeah.
okay, you know, Mozambique in like the March season.
Yeah.
We always refer to it as the cyclone season,
Right.
and it's pretty predictable.
Yeah.
You know that there's going to be swell at some point. So, I mean, especially in the last 2 years, we had Cyclone Filippo come through March 2025, and then the year before that was Cyclone Freddy. And so, personally, I've been evacuated out of Mozambique by my company twice because of cyclones.
Jesus.
So, and that's year on year. So you know that if you hang around Mozambique for around that season, you're going to pick up some swell.
Yeah.
So we invite a couple of my friends over to my posse there in Ponto De Ouro, and it's there's been a bit of a tradition of my Cape Town friends coming up, because for them they don't get much swell around March.
Yeah.
So they are using it as an opportunity to get some swell. And we had seen this blob on the horizon on Windguru, and we've got a couple of different tracking mechanisms. The one is windy.com, and all of the data was showing that something big is coming.
Yeah.
Like,
awesome.
and it just so happened to arrive on a Friday afternoon, just as I closed my laptop after work. So there's a couple of things. It was a low tide, and not just any low tide. It was a spring low tide, which means that when the swell hit, it was hitting a shallow bank.
Yeah.
We had 4 meter swell predicted on the horizon.
Yeah.
And when we went out to go have a look behind the point, it was like nothing I've ever seen before. It looked like tihipu in French Polynesia. Like the lip was, it looked like it was a meter fat. It was just a very, very different wave of what I've seen in Ponto before.
Right.
Hollow, foamed up, churned up like a beetroot smoothie. It looked angry.
Yeah.
It looked like Neptune had just come out of the earth and was like about to assert its vengeance upon us.
So quite uncommon for that sort of part of the world.
No, not uncommon for that season.
Yeah, that season got you.
But I think a lot of people associate Ponto De Ouro and Mozambique with like smooth, crystal clear, tranquil water, because they always go on holiday in December when it's very quiet.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why there actually are less shark attacks in Mozambique. Clear water, sharks can see what you are, and you're not a food source.
Yeah.
But this particular environment, the water was churned up.
Gotcha.
And just to talk about the type of shark,
what kind of shark was it?
So a bull shark, otherwise known as a Zambezi. Yeah. Why? Because they go up the Zambezi River. They're the only shark that can also survive in fresh water.
Yeah.
Dirty water is their game.
Okay.
So less reliant on eyesight, and they have one of the strongest senses of that electromagnetic sense. So, when it's in murky water, it picks up something, but it doesn't know necessarily what it is.
Yeah.
So, we went out.
And size?
A bull shark can get up to about 2.5 meters. It's not one of the larger shark in the ocean.
That's a pretty big shark, as far as I'm concerned. But the one that charged you, do you know what the size it was?
6 foot, 6 to 8 foot.
Okay. She's nothing wrong with that.
But still considered a juvenile, like a teenager.
Yeah, got you. Okay, so you guys went out?
Well, we just went out to go and check the view, do a bit of window shopping. It was myself and my friend Sarah at the time. And we looked out and we had no idea how we were even going to make it past the backline, because it was just massive and just unrelenting, and there wasn't a calm set for us to gap it. And I have to admit, like, just before I went out, I something did actually tell me, Lynn, you're probably making a mistake here. But
Got you.
with certain things, like you can't overthink it. You just
Yeah.
have to just go in.
Yeah. Which is a mindset that I've seen a lot of in the surfing community. So I've done a fair amount of surfing, not a lot, but I mean, obviously Josie's a tough place to find good waves. But spent a lot of time down in Durban in my 20s. Got a good crew of friends who kind of taught me how to surf by just throwing me in the back and just chilling. Right, bro, figure it out. And that sort of risk-taking mentality is pretty rife in the community. It's like, because I guess it is a risk. You never know what you're going to get when you get out there.
Yeah, it's you have to sometimes grow a pair and just not overthink it.
Do you regret going out now?
Well, I wouldn't be here, sitting on this couch with a
It's an awesome,
crackling fire in the distance, sipping on a bit of.
it's an awesome,
single malt.
yeah.
So
No,
there's
it's
been
good
a few
whiskey, though.
benefits
No, bro, I
along
don't
the
mess
way.
around. If I'm going to drink a whiskey, I don't drink a lot. So, no, dude, that's an amazing mentality, I think, and like kudos to you for saying that because, obviously, like for those who followed the podcast from the beginning, like I talk quite a lot about like the drama that I've been through in my life, you know, like childhood cancer and my brother being shot and all that, and best things that ever happened to me. And like that's kind of what you just said is like I in a way I'm interpreting it that way. It's like, dude, I wouldn't be sitting here, I wouldn't be telling the story, and it's a phenomenal story. And I mean, obviously it's not a great thing to go through, but to come out the other side with a positive message is a really important thing.
Definitely life changing. Definitely I'm not the same person as I was a year ago.
Yeah.
No question about it. But I think.
So
we'll
I want to get into that because I think that, but finish telling the story of the attack. Let's get that out of the way.
We sat there on the shore for like half an hour, just looking at there and just being like, how can we attack this? How can we even make it through the back line? And we were joined by warriors, Filippo and Alfonso. You'll mention them in the story. And they were the guys who gave me the courage to just be like, gap it, Bruce. Sent it. And I was getting myself into position. If you know Ponto De Ouro, we jumped in behind the point.
Okay.
And it was a massive southerly swell that was coming through. So it was pushing, it was an extremely hard current pushing us north. Too strong to swim against. You basically just jump in, let it pull you around the point into position. Hope you are in the right position at a time and see what you can catch. Like, this isn't one of those waves where you can
Predictable.
go there and sit.
Yeah.
No, the current is too strong and you've got to just roll with it. And I was actually still on my way out. I don't even think I'd been in the water for 10 minutes. Literally somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. And I was duck diving, still trying to get behind the back line.
Wow.
But it had pulled me literally more than 100 to 200 meters all the way around the point. And if you know where Pinto's beach bar is, that was where I got attacked.
Wow.
Which, I mean, that is like, I got pulled 300 meters in a matter of easy 10 minutes. So I was busy duck diving at the time. And I remember having my body and flat on the board. I remember my leg being out the side, and then it was a moment I'll never forget. It felt like I'd been struck by lightning. It honestly felt like I'd been struck by lightning. Every single muscle in my body clenched harder than I've ever experienced in my life. I actually remember clenching around the board and like not even being able to let go of this board. Like that's how hard I'm clenching onto it. And like I actually remember like arching my back and almost coming out of the water because it was so intense. And then sunk down into the water, and it was like that, you know, the album cover of Nirvana, the baby in the water. And it was like me just like there, the aftermath being like, what the hell just happened there? Are we allowed to swear on the podcast?
Yeah. I'm trying to cut down my swearing, clean my life up. But so did you? I remember in the article you kind of said, this is as far as I read pretty much, as you said you thought you were stung by a jellyfish.
Stingray.
Stingray.
I thought I'd been Steve Irwin. Straight in the leg.
Jesus, what a
You
legacy.
got me, boo. Straight. But, you know, like, I don't know if there's this some type of this adrenaline-kicked life survival mode, that is making me go all almost euphoric. But
so that's the hormones, bro. The stuff that when we are like when you get shot, the shock.
I was fully convinced I could carry on surfing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let me just wait to see if the bubbles could float away because I can't still see anything yet. I was expecting to see like a
jab.
Yeah, or like a stingray's barb in my leg snapped off to like pull the barb. That was what I was expecting to see. But then my leg just didn't work. It was like it wasn't there. I could feel 3 limbs. I couldn't feel my entire leg. Okay. That's when I was like, no, something's not lacquer here. And then I also felt the flesh of my whole calf muscle hanging down.
Wow,
and
you
that's
could actually feel the weight on it.
100%.
Amazing.
So that's when I was like, okay, just get level, horizontal on the board, lift your back leg up, and then as I lifted it up, I saw...
Did you have to lift it with your hand?
No.
You could use your thigh. That's unimportant.
That's a good question, because I just remember my leg was definitely perpendicular to the board. I managed to get into that position. And that's when I saw my calf muscle hanging down. And at that moment, it's almost like slow motion. You have to think of survival in every...
you have to figure out what's just happened to you.
And I remember specifically looking for a squirt of blood to see if it hit the artery.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
And I hope I would have had the peace of mind that if that artery had been severed, which was just underneath your knee, femoral artery, right next door, like we're talking millimeters away from the perennial nerve that was severed, and I didn't see that blood squirt.
So which was comforting.
It was, because I only saw like a little bit of blood trickling down my leg, and I was like, okay, that was my first win. Now you're looking for wins. At the end of the day, I don't know if any of you know Ponto De Ouro and its bay, but the backline is very far out to sea because there's a sandbank about 250, 300 meters out to sea. So I'm at that sandbank and I have to now make my way in. And because it's a cyclone swell, it could have even been further out. And I knew I had a hell of a paddle ahead of me. So the fact that I didn't see blood actually like squirting...
You,
I would have hoped I would have had the peace of mind to grab my rashie and maybe tourniquet my inner thigh to stop it. Who knows? But I made the conscious decision not to.
And you just said, let me get in.
And I was like, right, blinkers, racehorse. I don't want to look left. I don't want to look right. I don't want to look behind me. I don't give a shit about where the shark is. Nothing I can do. Beeline straight to the shore.
You knew it was a shark at this stage?
That's when I knew it was a shark.
Because you saw the flap.
Because I saw my calf muscle hanging.
And you were like, fuck, I've been charred by something.
No, I was like, it's a shark.
It's a shark.
Because up until that point, I thought it was a stingray, and then I could carry on surfing. So as soon as I saw it was a shark, I was like, okay, it's time to come in.
Were you worried it would come back? Obviously, us laymen...
What the hell do you think, bro?
Because of the blood in the water and stuff?
Of course I was bloody...
But you weren't... It didn't stop you from, like, paddling?
It stopped me from looking. I didn't want to know, dude. It was like, just... That's my world. Get to the shore. And so, number one, first win, not so much blood. Second win, conserve your energy. You don't know how much blood you have left. You don't know how much oxygen you have left in your body. You don't know if your assessment was correct. And that whatever is in your bloodstream right now is what you have to get you home. And we're talking swell size that is double overhead. So when whitewater comes, it's violent. It's not like it's a foamy that you can just carry catch into shore. Like we're talking a violent
you got to pick up
amount of water
to
that if the first couple of attempts that I made to paddle to the shore, I just got absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed.
Did you get knocked off your board at all?
Completely knocked off my board.
Really? You kept on having to keep getting back on?
And we're talking, so this is the same leg that my leash is on. So actually my board is being dragged by like a wonky leg. And each time you get tossed around, it's the same process. Reach down, go to your ankle, get the point of where your leash is, slowly pull it back,
God.
and your
Where were
board
your
is doing
Where were your brows?
tombstoning.
Did they know what was going on?
There were 3 other people in the water, and the current was so strong, and we each went in at different times.
You're
That
far from each other.
very far from each other.
How far?
So-
10, 20 meters, 30 meters?
No, like probably 100 meters apart.
Got you. So you were super far. And how far did you have to paddle to get in?
I mean, 250, 300 meters. Eventually
Dude,
caught away.
as an O doesn't surf enough, that fit as I am today is a struggle, bro. Like I'd shit myself for that. But I mean, the surfers are a different breed of fitness. They have surfing fitness.
Okay, but
Yeah,
I
but you had one
I
leg.
don't live on the coast. I'm here. I'm stuck in the in the
So
driehoek, my bro.
so you managed to get in, eh? And like,
Yeah, caught a Uber. Gave him a tip.
like I said, nice.
And yeah, finally made it to the shore. Have you ever seen one of those like typical Hollywood scenes of Jaws or something where there's a dude dragging himself up the beach
Yeah,
with
was
like
that
a
you?
trail of blood behind me? Yeah, it was quite
Out of the
quite
out
extreme,
of the beach,
quite
out of
extreme.
Because
Because it was a fairly uninhabited beach that day. Like it wasn't really a tourist season. There was a bra walking across the beach in his, I think he was wearing a pair of Nike Air Jordans. So I screamed for some help, but I don't think he wanted to get his Nike Air Jordans wet.
Did he just press on? Yeah.
He wanted to, but like every time we got to the breakers, he was like,
Bro,
I don't. He
you
was in
hear an O
full-
screaming, bro. You got to do something.
Well, the bra was in jeans and in Nike Jordan, so I don't know. He obviously wasn't a beach boy.
Yeah,
I think he was obviously a bit out of his zone.
Yeah.
So I don't blame him. I think people react differently in specifically emergency situations. Some people panic, some people freeze, some people zone in.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate in that I was lucid, like
So yeah,
absolutely lucid.
So you can
super
make decisions.
Calm.
So what did you do?
Absolutely. And I made the best decisions, conserved my oxygen as far as I could. When a wave came that I really needed to, I gave it the ultimate little push in the last minute to get to shore. And yeah, I think decision making was on point.
Okay. And then you got picked up. What?
We were on the beach. There was a group of, I think they were from Pretoria, having a lekker time because it was probably like 1 PM, and they were already
Enjoying
deep in the R&R.
enjoying their last ever visit to the beach after this because they're not going back near the ocean.
Yeah, and they checked what was going on. They saw this bra with this trail of blood like crawling his way up the beach, and they were like, I'd have loved to be a fly on the wall on that conversation while they were having, they were like, kykie bra, wat doen die mens?
Jesus, that's so rough.
So they came and kind of carried me up the beach a bit. And by that stage, we had drawn a bit of a crowd. And there was the owner, well, I think he was the manager of Ponto De Ouro. Sorry, man, I don't want to give the wrong people the wrong credit. But he was very instrumental in my mental health at that point in time, basically saying, this is the reality. It probably was a type of a bull or a this or a dusky. Don't worry. We're going to get you back to South Africa. You're not going to die. And
was that the MO? Was to get you back to South Africa? Why not a hospital in Mozambique? Like, is there not shark attack specialists that side?
maybe they are.
But the goal was get you onto what a heli.
So he was the first point of my medical recovery because he knew about a clinic that had just opened in Ponto De Ouro.
Okay.
Actually, very good clinic. It's got all the medicines that you need for, let's call it, first response, first aid.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So can you believe there was a nurse on her lunch break walking down the beach from that clinic who happened to walk past me at the time.
Legit, eh?
And she was like, don't worry, I'll call the head nurse. And then next thing, boo, I'm talking 5 minutes. Stretcher on the beach. I'm on the stretcher. And the clinic then just asked the four Pretoria Mensa to possibly carry me to the clinic, which was about 100 meters away. But they were deep in the R&R, so they were hoossing, my bro.
Really?
They were hoossing.
Shame, poor eyes, bro.
Nah, legends.
So you got you to the clinic and
Got
then...
me to the clinic and Voltaren injection, and it was just about just cleaning the wound with iodine, and the main idea was to prep me for transport, to get me across the border. That was always the main goal. And then, Bush Telegraph, hey? The local surf authority in the area have to bring in a new character to the story. Yeah. A man called Spiggles. So Spiggles is the local hero. All right, so
Of course he is.
I see Spiggles as Neptune's proxy to Ponto De Ouro. Like he is the guardian of the point of gold, Ponto De Ouro. That's been his assigned duty to take care of us. But no, legendary skipper, surfer, all-round good bloke. He was in a SARS meeting at the border, dropped everything, came straight to the clinic, and then basically took charge of logistics from then on. He's like squeezing my toe. He's on a video call with a doctor that he knows in just across the border, Manguzi Hospital. And that would have been the next best option. Manguzi Hospital, literally a stone's throw from the border. Plenty of international doctors there as well. He's like got his phone out, got the doctor on the video, checking the color and seeing if the blood returns, and assessing. It was all, it's different stages. Stage 1, save your life.
Yeah.
Stage 2, save the leg.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody was then worried, all right, he's not going to die, but is he going to get to the right help in time to save the leg? And they were like, all right, we can't be here for more than an hour. We're on the clock, and by this time, he's got to be out of here. So it was just a whole lot of iodine, pumped me full of antibiotics. And
were you in pain?
I was in absolutely no pain.
Good drugs?
No. Yeah, maybe whatever the initial drugs were produced by the brain. So this was before even any Voltaren injection, anything. Like I felt nothing. Like my leg didn't exist.
Yeah. Our brains are powerful, bro.
No, it just shut off that whole system. And I later learned that one of the reasons why I wasn't bleeding so badly, even though like my whole bloody meat was open, the body has a way of shutting off blood supply to critical parts.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was quite unbelievable. But just as I was about to leave and get put into a car and then jump the border, that's when Spigs is like, Linden, are you okay? And that's when the pain really started to come. And he offered me a shot of pethidine, and I wasn't going to say no. Yeah. So the rest of the journey was bliss.
What, did you in a car? They took you over the border?
My Jimny.
No ways. Linden drives the same car I drive, guys. Suzuki Jimny. Best 4x4x4. Such a cool car.
I don't know about your Jen. Do the front seats lay completely flat?
The fronts, no. Yeah, they can go all the way back, but not like that.
So it's actually quite a unique feature.
Because you got the newer box version. I've got the rounded
Gen 4.
corners. Yeah.
Yeah, so Sarah was my driver, and on the passenger seat, you
so
can.
So did they just lost you and you're right? You guys good? All right, cool. Take him over. Like no medical staff with you. You just went.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this time, Sarah was acting as a communications manager with my sister, who's a pharmacist, and she knows that I'm also highly allergic to penicillin.
Oh, freak.
So she's just screening all the antibiotics to make sure that there's no penicillin in it. And the doctor actually, wasn't a doctor, but there is a mushrooms are Cephalospora was the active ingredient in the antibiotics that they were about to give me, which is a sister ingredient to penicillin.
Okay.
But it can have side chain reactions. I think my sister will be quite proud of me for that one.
Well done.
So there wasn't a guarantee. It wasn't a penicillin, yes, but you don't want to take a chance.
Right.
Yeah. So,
No, especially not in these circumstances. So you had to drive over the border. How long was the drive? From Ponto to the border is an hour.
No rubbish, boo. 10 minutes. It's literally 10 Ks.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking to Maputo.
Maputo's an hour, yeah.
Sorry. You're right. Oh, you're right, because there's that. So I remember doing that border once as well. So 10 minutes over the border, and then you're in Manguzi.
And the best thing is this clinic even arranged for a border letter so
you don't
that
have to passport.
Well, my passport was stamped in the car. The customs official came to me in the car.
No way.
But
So they still. Jeez,
But
man,
my temporary customs for my car had expired.
oh, I don't want to get. So we talked about you as a human. I don't want to get into like the real Linden because, bro, this is the most Linden thing that's ever happened to a human.
So Sarah's panicking and she's like, dude, please, bro. This guy got shot by a shark.
Did she have her passport with her?
Yeah, no, she was sorted. It was just the vehicle papers that were out by a few days. So and he's like,
God.
no, but this guy's paperwork is not in order. And she's like, dude, please, like, the guy's dying. You just got shot by a shark. It's like, okay. For this time, we'll
So just to put, so it may as well put it out there, like about Linden, who he is as a human. Like I've known Linden a few years now. We went to Mozambique last year, having a jaw, night one, whatever. 11 o'clock at night, Linden rocks up at the jaw. Where you been, bro? No, bro. I got to the border, and I didn't have my passport. My mom had my wallet back in Joburg. Do you remember that? Like these are the things that happen to you when someone.
How long ago was that?
This was last year, Mozambique, August. When someone said to me, "Oh, bro, you know Linden?" I told you, he goes, "You got attacked by a shark." I said, "Yeah, of course you did. It's Linden." Like it's the most Linden thing to happen, bro.
Look, that's a story that.
Like, and the fact that you now have been chopped by a shark, and now you go to the border and that you're sorry, bro, your car papers are out. Most Linden thing to happen.
Okay, that
Get
story.
your fucking life together, dude.
That story about the passport is a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. Bro, we should have you on as a weekly, bro.
Let's not go down that one. Whew,
So you got to the clinic and they were happy.
But I had, I'm on a very good medical aid, fully covered.
Shark attacks covered?
Fully covered.
Legit?
Fully covered. So, I mean, my sister was trying to arrange, and maybe there was a possibility we were going to get helivac and...
From Manguzi to Joburg?
No, yeah, Joburg, direct. Yeah. But the refueling would have meant more than a 2-hour round trip, but Richards Bay Netcare was always the goal.
Okay.
And Spiggs was the director in this operation of logistics. And he
Spiggs,
said,
bro.
yeah, and he's like, right, out here, boom, straight to Netcare. And I mean, my sister had even phoned ahead to say he's coming. We met the ambulance halfway somewhere.
Yeah, I've done that before, bro. I've done that with my
around
brother.
Mandini.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the...
I don't know.
I think it was Hluhluwe. And then did a little bit of a transfer in the on the side of the road.
I've done exactly that, bro. My brother had a
Yes, and at that stage, I am tripping balls on pethidine, having the best time.
Yeah.
Making
So were
comments
you were lucid? Were you worried? Were you
Not at
freaking
all.
out?
Not at all. Literally having the best time.
Were you angry?
Dude, that trip from Ponto to Richards Bay, I was having the best time. I was making jokes. I was trying to calm Sarah down.
It's so funny how in those situations, often the person who's in the shit is the one who's actually keeping everyone else calm. Because they know what the real situation is. They know how much trouble we're in. We are in.
Yeah.
Because that chick Sarah's with you in this trouble. But you are the only one who knows how much trouble you're actually in, and you obviously weren't worried.
I'm actually going to dial it back a little while, just to give a bit of substance to what that is. Sarah had actually just come in to shore, and I'm not sure if it was Alfonso.
Did she know what had happened?
Well, she had just no, not even close. So she had just come into shore, and I think Alfonso went to see her because he knew we were friends going out together, and he went up to her and said, "I think your friend's just been attacked by a shark," and she's like, nah. And he's like, "No, legit, like you're gonna have to come and see this." So then she came in, and I just remember her face, like not coping. And actually, at that moment, we'd already assessed the situation, and I realized that I'm not going to lose my life. Everything was going to be okay.
But she didn't know that yet.
No, she didn't. And I remember clearly being on the beach, just like hugging her, being like, "Don't stress, Sarah.
Yeah.
No one's going to die today.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be okay." And I just thought that's quite funny.
And you know, it's funny because it brings up something that like I've learned about women in my life. Actually, one of the other things I talk quite a lot about is the male and the female on this podcast, because there's a big difference between the two of us. And one of the things that's informed that for me is, like, as I said, with all the shit that I've been through in my life, childhood cancer, my brother was shot when he was 20. My dad died of, he had cancer for like 10 years. There's 5 of us in the family, my brother, my father, and me, and then my mother and my sister. Nothing bad ever happened to my mother or my sister. No sicknesses, thank God. No sicknesses, no shootings, nothing like that. They are by far the stronger human beings out of the 5 of us. They kept their shit together. They put up with all of the stuff that needed to be put up with and got none of the love and attention. The 3 of us who went through all the shit, we got the men went through the women. And it's interesting because you talk about Sarah being like that, because I'm of the opinion that women in the long term are actually way stronger than men when it comes to trauma.
100%.
When it comes to dealing with this stuff, bro.
I think we suppress. I think we just chuck it in the bottle and just poppy.
It's actually a good call. Maybe that's what happens is, like, we put it away and we don't want to deal with it. Even in the long term, the mid to short term, 6 months in, a year in, 2 years in, the chicks just manage to handle it. And the guys, I know, like, I mean, as I say, I've lived it and I've seen how it goes with these 2 women in my life, my mom and my sister, and they just hard as nails. Very interesting. So are you still browse with Sarah? Has she given up on you?
Yeah, we surfed the same cyclone a few months ago.
Okay.
So that
Jesus, you just don't learn, eh? So let me ask you about that, because I like, you know, as I said, like, it's an interesting thing, this, because there's so much that's happened to you that I like to talk about, like, in terms of risk taking. Has this affected your hunger for risk at all? Do you feel like you're more risk averse, more risk? When
we started this conversation, you spoke about statistics.
Yeah.
And you said you'd already got it all figured out. But now that we've gone a bit deeper into the conversation, it's about understanding the animal.
Yeah.
All right? So I'm not on that animal's menu.
Yeah.
It spat me out.
Yeah.
It gave me a chomp. It was, I mean, the bull shark has the strongest bite force of all sharks.
Okay.
But I still have my leg, which is a testament to, I tasted like a manky piece of broccoli.
Yeah.
It was not on the menu. So why? Because it couldn't see properly.
Yeah.
It wasn't using its eyes. It was only using it electromagnetic. So it's like I said, it's a silly example of, you know, the more time you spend in the ocean as a surfer, you're going to have a higher likelihood of being chomped than being a city slicker in Joburg. But at the same time, if you can understand shark habits and don't go out when there's a bait ball, or
it's calculated risk, is what you're saying.
Just chat to the local fishermen to see, well, like, what's happening out in the ocean. Is there a sardine run taking place? Like, I don't know if you've ever seen documentaries of what happens to sharks when they get into a feeding frenzy. It's just like chaos and shagging and more feeding, and something. Have you seen images of a whale getting torn apart by sharks.
Yeah, I've seen a video of that. Yeah,
Also, feeding frenzy where they just have this like orgy.
yeah.
So like, don't get yourself, don't put yourself in
So-
the
So
gangster zones.
Is that what you've done now? It's like, so you went back in the water in the same cyclone
to try and understand the shark a bit better. And
and you're not angry about what happened to you. You're not resentful of the shark. You're not pissed off.
look, we have to appreciate the sea life, and I grew up in the Transkei.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a unbelievably deep connection with the ocean. My dad's a marine biologist, and I scuba dive, I surf, I do anything that's ocean related. You can sign me up for it, but I think previously I just didn't understand sharks properly. It was just a statistic. This is the chances of you getting charred, and you can't manipulate it. But going to Thailand and snorkeling with black-tip sharks, even black-tip sharks that are bigger than you see that they're actually scared of you.
Yeah.
That was like, okay, cool. You know, there's a different dynamic going on here. There's people that have an ability to be able to free dive with great whites, which I don't fully want to understand myself just yet.
Would you do that?
All right, so that is something that needs to happen.
Okay.
And I think that
Why?
it'll help my
Why?
trauma.
Because you need to put yourself in that environment, make yourself uncomfortable in that environment.
I've put myself back in the exact same environment of when I got charred.
Yeah.
Big, stormy.
That was in the cyclone now.
Well, it was a tropical storm, but it was still monster swell that came through. So when I'm in foamy, frothy water in the exact same spot when I got charred a year ago, that was when PTSD kicked in pretty hard, and you just like trying to get out of the water as far as possible. I actually just went straight in.
Did you freak out?
A little bit.
And you
A
just
little bit.
were like, did you call it early? Like you didn't surf?
Not interested in surfing today.
Okay.
Wait for it to get a little bit more clearer.
Got you.
So as soon
So
as
you
the
don't-
water's
So
clearer,
you won't say that you've got a phobia of sharks now.
uh,
You've got a respect for them.
So I think the thing I need to do to get through the PTSD properly is I want to go Pinnacles. It's a dive spot in just off the Ponto De Ouro coastline. It's actually world famous. People come from all around the world to be able to study what happens there because it's a ragged-toothed shark sanctuary, and it's deep ocean, and it's incredible. Like there's just this volcano that comes out of the ocean like that, and these it's a hive of activity with ragged-toothed shark just encircling this like pinnacle the whole time. And ragged-toothed shark I have seen in the flesh whilst scuba diving. I didn't get scared, and I don't think I will ever get scared from a ragged-toothed shark if I can identify it.
Yeah.
If there's a great white in the ocean, I'm not interested in what you have to say. I'm getting out. If it is a hammerhead, no, bro, 100%. I'm staying in the water.
Because you have an
love to be
understanding of
around.
these species and you understand what they're about.
So look at your statistic.
Yeah.
You need to. I want to be around these animals. I want to understand their behavior a lot better. It's going to be able to make my relationship with the space that we call the ocean that we share together is going to be a lot more of a to coexist a little bit better. But certain sharks, I am just not interested in dealing with. And a bull shark is a fairly unpredictable creature. So everybody likes to claim that they love the planet, love animals, love everything that's in it. But if a bull shark comes towards me again, I'm going to scoop it, bro. Yeah. I'm going to scoop that thing in the chin. Yeah. Can't, it's like, at the end of the day, these are the most apex predators of the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah. What have you learned? What have we learned, Linden? What have we learned?
So it was during my, it was 2024. I was a few months into my attack, and I had given up on the idea of surfing probably until about 2026. And then
Because of your mind or because of your body?
because of my body.
Okay. The rehab and all
so
that
something that I haven't shared on the podcast yet is that the shark severed my peroneal nerve, which gives my foot the ability to lift. So I can't lift my foot, and I need a little bit of a drop foot splint in order to walk properly. Otherwise, my foot dangles and I blixen over myself and break coffee tables, etc.
Ironically, it's exactly the same as my brother who was shot. Got exactly the same.
So I had the idea that I was only going to be back in the water surfing at least around the 2026. And then my sister sent me a video of Caleb Swanepoel.
Yes.
And the video is called Beyond the Bite. I encourage anybody to watch it. Highly inspirational. Caleb had his entire leg chomped off by a great white.
Yeah.
And there I am watching this video of this bra with a prosthetic surfing in Mozambique, Cape Town. And there I am like, my bro, are you serious? If this guy can get back on a surfboard, what excuse do I have? What excuse do I have? Yeah. And I had an incredible community around me when just as the event happened, they got put onto this WhatsApp group with marine biologists from all over the world wanted to know what had happened.
Yeah.
And this lady, Marika, instrumental to my mental health going through the experience. I told her about this whole thing, and she's like, dude, what the hell? 2026? Are you mad? Get a log, get a longboard, and get out there and get back into it. Yeah. And so I was so weak. It was about 2 months of me not even being able to walk, just being on drugs, on heavy Oxycontin and Stilnox and all kinds of different things. And my legs had just completely wasted away. My body had got fat and so weak. When you talk about weak, I mean, I wasn't able to walk up a flight of stairs. I had to take a break halfway through. Yeah. And I was like, all right, let me see if I can. I'm just going to go down to J-Bay because every year, my friends, we have a ritual, routine. We rent a house in J-Bay and go surf the winter swell. Okay. And I went there actually just to go visit them. I didn't bring a board. But this particular day was just so perfect. Like, there wasn't a breath of wind. The waves weren't massive, just like easy type of learner waves. And my mate was like, bro, there's a stand-up. Get on there and go paddle, get out and see what happens. So I think it was July 2024, so April, May, June. So 3 months after the attack. And I knew I was so weak, it wasn't going to last very long, but planned the whole thing, went out, and as I went in for the first wave, I fell, and I remember thinking to myself, you actually don't have any energy left. You're not going to make another 10 minutes. So you've got one more opportunity. You don't catch this wave, you're out. And the next wave that came through, I just, even though my leg was all wonky, somehow managed to get myself onto it. And that was the first wave I caught since the attack. And it was, either 3 or 4 months after the incident. And that catapulted my mental health into a different trajectory. And that's when I started realizing that you say you can't, you definitely won't. You say you can, do anything in the entire world. The brain is the most powerful muscle in your body. Even when your muscles can't, you figure out a way. And since then, I'm back in the water. I'm surfing with my friends, and I think that I can get back to a point, even with the wonky foot, that I could be a better surfer than I was when I was a fully able body.
Come back better, come back stronger.
I honestly do believe that. I mean, it's been a year and a bit since the incident. I actually got classified by the corporate system as a permanently disabled human.
So that was going to be, because you just used the word, you said, I could be a better surfer than I was as an able-bodied. And I was like, that's an interesting choice of words. Do you consider yourself to be disabled? So clearly...
Well, the legal system does.
The legal system considers you disabled.
2%, bro.
2% disabled?
No.
Oh.
That's the quota. That's the BE quota.
Oh, shit. Okay, of course they consider you disabled. They're getting points.
CEO must watch himself.
So your business considers you disabled. I'm sure legally can probably park in a disabled spot.
100%.
Do you consider yourself disabled?
I consider myself enabled.
I love that.
Yeah, it's the most powerful experience I've ever had in my life. It re-shook the foundation of what I believed was possible, and I've valued my friendships ever since. I know it sounds like a cliche, but when you've gone through, when you've faced death, when you honestly have to fight for your life, there's number of occasions where you realize, shit, I actually might not make it home alive. Your world's not the same after that. You value every drop of oxygen that goes through your nostrils.
Do you do that now? You don't take shit for granted.
I think I just I waste less time. You won't find me in places where if I'm not enjoying myself,
you get out.
If I feel like there's a group of people or an individual that is not vibing on the same frequency as me, I'm not going to I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to try so hard to make it my life's work, to make him my friend or her my friend. I'm rather chasing positive experiences and letting go of things that I think I might not have as much power. Where previously I thought maybe it's a narcissism thing where you feel like this guy doesn't like you, but I'm going to make him like me. Now I've just accepted that we all are different people on different frequencies, and I'm just going to...
I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
And I'm going to live the life that I choose and just follow the path where it's been telling me that I should follow for all these years, but I just haven't really listened. So, typical example, sold my house in Vanderbijl Park, or at least it's on the market. And
Vanderbijl Park, you should have done that 15 years ago.
Difficult when you work in Vanderbijl Park.
Have you made some big decisions because of what you've been through?
I think I've made big decisions on the person I've become since that event. So why hang around a place that isn't necessarily offering me what I'm looking for in life? Not to say that it isn't the place for other people. It's just I am deeply connected with the ocean. So don't try and fight the system. Don't try and swim upstream.
Yeah.
Just rather follow what you believe in.
Yeah.
And
Be more comfortable in what you believe. Yeah.
Yeah. So a little side note: I've started to gravitate towards Ponto De Ouro, the place where I actually got attacked. And one of the biggest prizes, I think, or let's just say one of the biggest accomplishments I've achieved in 2025, I got a locals parking sticker to the beach bar at Ponto De Ouro. Took me 13 years.
I was going to say, is that all you got after what you've been through?
Dude, if I got a Nobel Peace Prize, that would be second on the list.
Have you?
Compared to I've been trying to be a local in Ponto De Ouro for 13 years.
I think you told me about this at Mozambique last year.
They didn't care about me. They just saw me as a tourism with my cash.
Because you got charged by one of the local sharks.
Now that I have been charged by a shark, I have been accepted.
Have you found anything else, like other benefits that have come from what you've been through? I mean, obviously not. I think you've spoken a lot about the
2%. I'm now part of the BE system. Stoked about that.
Well done. What a crazy world. Yeah.
I am now previously disadvantaged. Deal with it, bro.
Previously disadvantaged. Before I was. So that's good. So there's a few perks, bro. There's a few. Listen, you got to make the most of it. Dude, so you did mention that Caleb Swanepoel thing, and it's not something that I've seen. I think like we were going to watch it together. Is there, before we do, I mean, I will end off the podcast by watching it together, and then anybody who wants to kind of watch it with us can do that. We'll put it up on the screen so you guys can watch it. But is there anything else that you feel like we haven't covered that you would like to talk about and share?
I just want to thank everybody that was involved in the whole experience of getting me to where I am today. Right from the experience on the beach with the guy calming me down to the guy who wrote the letter to the customs official at the border to get me across a bit faster, to my sister who was on the phone with medical aid trying to helivac me in, to Sarah who was communications manager, Spigs who was logistics, knowing exactly what to do through the whole operation. And then post-event, my uncle said to me, the media's going to get a hold of you, because he's quite big in the whole garden route, whale route, all that whole thing, and he lives for the ocean. He says, marine biologists, media, they're going to want to know your story. So write an article in the best way that you can that describes the event. And so when I wrote that article, I think it was within the first 24 hours of actually coming out of theatre. And just to give a little bit of idea of what actually happened is my perennial nerve wasn't just severed by the shark, it was gouged. So there was like a centimeter missing. So imagine having your actual nerve being pulled, stretched, sewn. So I mean, I remember coming out of hospital screaming like a little boy. And I was maxed out on morphine. So, I mean, this experience, they gave me a Stilnox, which is your sleeping tablet, and we all know what happens when you stay awake on Stilnox. Oxycontin and morphine all at the same time. And that's when I
wrote the article. You said
so. And if so, just bear with it. It is a little bit of a.
Well, it's a good read. I read the first half of it more or less till you got to the shore. So I'll obviously link everything below. Drugs are good, okay.
Well, I don't remember writing half because Stilnox kind of wipes your memory.
Yeah. Oh, is it, eh?
Yeah. So the next day, I went and read what I had wrote, and even Schmiegel made its way into the story.
Yeah, there was big time Lord of the Rings references.
What does Schmeagol have to do? So I had to do a lot of editing post day to get it to where it is, and it's still a bit wonky.
So now in the surf community, because I know the community, I don't know it well, like I say, like I kind of spend a lot of time down in Durban with some bros, but I know the surf community is tightly knit, and do you get props when you show up for a set?
I did get a free shark bands from
A free shark what?
It's that magnetic thing
that
you attach to your.
Does that work?
It does, but not for all sharks. And this is the key. Thanks for the free shark bands. There's a catch though. So yes, you do get some benefits from getting attacked by a shark. If you die, you don't get the shark bands.
Oh, well,
so don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Like if you want to get some free merch, like get attacked, but don't die. Yeah. Then you get the merch. Then you get the merch. I was gonna say I could have done with this about 2 weeks earlier, but anyway,
Look, I don't care if it doesn't work as long as it works on the sharks that are gonna bite me.
So, great white, you're done. Forget it.
For sure.
Regardless, if it's got his eye
on you, you're done.
If
you're swimming in the waters of the great white that's down in the Cape, no?
Exactly. So you can
kind of water that cold anyway. No, I'm just joking. You know how I feel about cold water.
But an inquisitive shark like a bull, which is using its electromagnetic sensors on its nose to fish around and see what it is, it will work on a bull shark.
Because it's looking in that.
Because it's inquisitive, and then doesn't dig that, and then moves away. So shark bands, proven on Zambezi. Other sharks, not so effective. But yeah, free merch, and I get to be on podcasts with my China Steve, bro. What more do you want in life?
Dude, thank you for doing this, dude. I honestly, as I say, I can't believe it took me this long to realize, I'm really priding myself in some of the conversations I'm having, with Linden, the Fruitarian, and I've had some really interesting conversations, and I can't believe it took me this long to realize, Linden survived the shark attack, bro. I should really talk to the O. And it's been good to just hear your... Dude, and with respect, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but I didn't take you very seriously, and I don't mean it in a bad way. You and I have always jawed together. We've shared a lot of dance halls together, and you've always been light-hearted Linden, fucking get boozed Linden, that kind of thing. And when you said to me, hey, dude, I want to do your podcast, I was like, dude, that's a great idea. And then we had another conversation about it, and you said, dude, I actually want to share what I've learned about resilience and bouncing back. And you actually said to me, dude, we didn't talk about this, but you kind of covered it, was if I can just get one person to wake up and realize that they've got power in them that they don't realize they've got, then I've done my job, and that's why I want to do the podcast. Dude, that's so powerful to me, because it's not about changing the world. It's about just sharing what you've been through and hoping that somebody clicks onto it. And I never thought that about you. I don't mean it in a negative way. I've never taken you as a serious human being. You've always been very light-hearted and chilled, and you're a good guy. This is the first time that I've actually had a deep conversation with you about what you've been through in your life, and messages. And I'm quite impressed, bro. Well done. You deserve a pat on the back, and I'm proud of you.
We should hang around the fire more often.
Have a whiskey.
But I need to give credit, because this was the major event. Caleb Swanepoel, seeing him without a leg on a surfboard, and I'm like, brah, dry your eyes, dude. Dry your eyes. So what on earth do you have to complain about? And so he honestly made me realize you can achieve anything. And that's what I wanted to put on display today, is that if I just touch one person who had an accident or whatever it is, and is not feeling optimistic about life, doesn't have the motivation, just needs a little bit of inspiration to get back out there. Trust me, you can. And way earlier than you think you can. So where I thought that I'd be only on a surfboard by 2026 originally, I made an amazing breakthrough 3 weeks ago when it was just the most incredibly smooth, crystal clear. It felt like I was on the Mentawai Islands in Ponto De Ouro, in the exact same spot where I got charred 3 weeks ago. And the conditions were barrel boards. So the exact same board that I actually got attacked on, hadn't used it in over a year because it's too short. And it's taken me a really long time to get my pop-up right. But I managed to get back up on my short board, my 6.2, my barrel board, 3 weeks ago, because that was the board that was required for that day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if I had to have rewound back to when I was sitting in a hospital bed a year ago, there's absolutely no ways I would expect it to be where I am right now.
Yeah.
And I've got so many people to thank for that.
Yeah. Amazing, dude. It makes me think, one of the things that like I learned a lot in life as well is, when I think what you've just said when you talk about Caleb, and what you're kind of saying to other people as well is, there's always something that I learned as a youngster, obviously going through what I went through. There's always someone worse off than you. And when you see that person, like you saw Caleb and you're like, dude, that was he's got a way rawer deal, pardon the pun. He's got a way worse deal than I do. What am I bitching about, bro?
Exactly.
What have I got to complain about, bro? The O's got
Exactly.
no leg.
Exactly.
Like, I've got my leg. Okay, it doesn't work fully, but I've got my leg.
Yeah.
And it's like, the other thing that really comes through to me with what you just said is, it's a really powerful message about, like, whatever you're going through, you said, whatever you're going through, bro, you have the power to get through it, and sooner than you think, which I think is really important as well, is timeline. Timeline, the sooner you stop bitching, and the sooner that you realize, hey, I've got the power to take care of this, and I've got the power to get over this. And your stuff that you're going through, unfortunately, won't be as clear and cut, pardon the pun, as a shark attack. It might be depression. It might be addiction. I'm speaking to a lot of people these days about struggling with addiction. Not full-blown addiction, but like they've got a problem. They've got a little monkey on
It's
the
the
back.
monkey.
They can't walk away from it. That might be your problem. It might be a toxic relationship that you're in. It may not be as clear-cut as a flap of meat hanging from your leg. But like,
Everybody's got their trauma.
yeah, exactly. And recognize what it is and do something about it. Because I think that's what you're trying to share. And I think you've shared it beautifully well. Is all you need to do is understand what you're going through. Understand that you've got the power to change it and get moving now. Don't wait. You've got the ability to do it. Do it now. Get it done. Move on with your life.
Forwards. Get on with it.
Always good, often great.
Just get on with it, bro. Stop making excuses and just do
bitching,
it.
mate. Dude, anyway, I won't get into that bitching and money about excuses. Let's watch this Caleb thing, guys. Thank you for staking with us this far. I hope you've enjoyed Linden's story. I knew the story more or less, but as I said, dude, you've surprised me with your maturity. Because most of the time I hang around with you, you are the least mature human that I know. But I realized that, like, you don't go through something like you went through without learning a few lessons.
I think if you spent time with me outside the club, you'd probably know.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Is like, I've known you for 2 or 3 years.
Got a little bit of a laugh.
I've known you, let's say I've spent 12 hours in total.
I kind of have my shit going on.
Yeah.
I
mean, sometimes until you get to the Mozambique border without your
Just
wallet,
understand that those are the moments where I choose to not have my shit together.
No, well, that's what I realized. I got a new respect for you. We're going to watch the Caleb thing now. If you guys stick with us and watch it with us, it'll be interesting to watch. Otherwise, thank you guys for joining us. Dude, thank you for...
Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for
inviting yourself, bro.
To be able to just spread a word, even if, like you said, it touches one person, then I've done my job.
Yeah, no,
Really
and listen, based on the feedback that I get from this podcast, I think there'll be people who come, and I'll let you know, and I'll put them in touch, guys. Linden's details will be below. The article he wrote will be below. Caleb Swanepoel's video that we're going to watch will be below. And Linden's personal phone number will be below. Handsome mofo, guys. Single, eh? By the way, single. Ladies, hey, you're single.
Nice to have. Thanks so much for having me. I've really enjoyed chilling here by the fire, having a cold one.
Let's watch Caleb's video.
Single malts.